Okay, so today we took Milo and Whiskey to the vet. A little bit of history on what's going on with Whiskey. Six months ago I had x-rays done on Whiskey's hocks. He was displaying some, I wouldn't say resistance, but he wasn't feeling quite right when I was working him, especially at the lope and in our stops and our spins. And so we had a lameness test done and he was positive on it, and at the time we ended up just giving him Adequan. The x-rays ended up showing that he had a small bone spur on kind of the lower to mid joint, because the hock has essentially an upper, a middle, and a lower part of the joint with a lot of other parts in there, and they kind of slide on each other. But so he was put on a loading dose of Adequan, which was 7 vials given once every 4 days. And essentially that should help him for the year. What ended up happening was about 3 months later, I was finding that he was kind of back to feeling how he was before, where he didn't have that loftiness, he didn't have the spring to a step. He wasn't really going to the ground, kind of like what was happening at the show this last weekend. So after talking with Andrea and doing some more research and really kind of thinking it over, I ended up contacting my vet again and asking her to review the x-rays and look at that bone spur and its location and see about going with injections. Walk and jog. I usually come across to the other side to scrub the distal intertarsal joint, which is right here. So if you want to stand on that side, grab a wad of, so stand right there, right, like just mirror me. Grab a wad of that. Yeah. So I got a big wad. So you see where that splint bone comes up to a head? That's where you're aiming. Throw it away if it drops on the ground. We got tons. Perfect.
Distal intertarsal.
Yeah. No, this is tarsal, metatarsal.
Tarsal, metatarsal.
I'm coming right up over the top of the tiny bit of tape there. I'm gonna try that. There we go. Pressurized, got good amount. One of the benefits with getting Hock injections done is that it actually helps speed up the fusion process. So like I said, the Hock has essentially 3 main parts to it: the upper, the middle, and the lower part of the joint. And the mid and lower don't actually have a lot of movement to it, but the bones that are in there, they kind of slide on each other. And when you have a bone spur in there, which he does, it creates some pain when it moves around a little bit. What the injection does, when they're younger, they tend to use a hyaluronic acid inside of there, and with a combination of a few different types of drugs, depending on what the veterinarian's choice is. And that drug, that fluid that they inject in there, helps the fusion process, which is the space between the bones starts to actually fuse together, and that's a good thing. It's a degenerative process, but it's good because then you don't have that movement, that sliding between the bones, which is what causes the pain. I will stop on the 4-week dosage of Adequan, which he was currently on. That way we can see how the Hock injections are actually helping him. The estimate is that the injections should help at least 6 months to a year. And one thing that the vet usually likes to recommend is to give the injections towards the start of a competitive season, and then let it taper out kind of towards October, and then give them Adequan through the winter to help keep them going still. So to help give a definitive result of if these injections actually help him, we'll stop the Adequan and see if he still feels well to me and how long that lasts. And then the flip side to that is that if it only lasts him maybe 8 to 10 weeks, we'll know that either A, we didn't get the injections in the right location, B, his hocks aren't the only problem. Maybe he's got an issue down in his fetlocks. He has some wind puffs down there. Maybe it is higher up in the stifle, and those would be other areas that we could look and explore a little bit more. The other thing is we could always put him on another prescribed treatment. There's Equiox, which is what she recommended. But again, we kind of want to start at one thing and definitively rule out one to the next and see what's helping and what isn't. So Whizkey will have 2 to 3 days off before I can get on and then try and evaluate him. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that this video was informative to you as much as it was to me for the whole procedure. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my page to see more. Thanks.